So today's video, predominantly aimed at seniors, but I would say ultimately this is just aimed at any golfer who wants to hit the ball a bit further, but feeling that it's an effortless power that we generate. So when I watch most golfers hit shots, I think an awful lot is made, or particularly in the past has been made about trying to keep the lower body very, very stable, but obviously try to turn that upper body. And I think a lot of golfers will hit shots like that, and we can see on TrackMan, 76 mile an hour club head speed, 4 inches ahead, which is great. The ball traveling 135 through the air, rolling out 158. So even when I swing like that, I'm able to generate a little bit of speed. But most golfers, when they come and see me, even though they'll talk about accuracy, it's lack of distance that's the killer. And as we get older, unfortunately, our ability to move generally doesn't get better unless we work on something. So what I will see with a lot of golfers is that their hips are very tight, so they're not really able to rotate very well. As a result of the hips not rotating, the backswing gets shorter and shorter. They become very restricted on the way through, and just you'll probably see this a lot with guys you play with, might even be your swing, that it feels like there's just nothing there. And even though you still enjoy getting out, your mind goes back to those days when you used to have that nice big free feeling swing that hit the ball further, and it was just a joy to play. So I'm going to work through a couple of little areas that's going to free you up, and you don't have to be super flexible to still make a nice, easy, powerful golf swing. So we're going to start with how you put your feet at address. So you see a lot of golfers, and they'll tend to get their toes pointing straight in front, so straight at the camera. And as they try and turn on the way back, that hip wants to turn back, but if you're tight in the hip, you get to a point where I can't go any further. So then if I try and rotate my upper body, that's very restricted. Now, if you are tight in that trail hip, move that foot back, and then straight away, that hip can rotate more, and you can make a bigger backswing. So we'll work through this step by step. So we're going to start, I'm sure you know what's coming, but we're going to start with the trail foot. So we're going to turn that out, keep the front foot as is, and just allow yourself to make as big a hip turn as possible and allow the upper body to rotate. So from there, now yes, it's offline, but a big jump in club speed there. 87 mile an hour, low point ahead. I'm sure you'll agree, that far left though, probably not too excited. But we saw a huge jump in speed because I'm now allowing that hip to rotate. Now, if you're not quite that mobile, you could still let that front heel come off the ground as well, and that's going to allow even more turn in the backswing. Get the ball in the middle, turn that foot out, let the heel come up. And that is a different swing. 88 mile an hour, good strike, 4.7 inches ahead, and I can't promise 188 carry. Now, I'll be honest, this 7-iron is a little bit stronger loft than mine, so it is going to go a long way. But we can see those couple little tweaks in the backswing, suddenly the body's able to turn a lot further, get some energy stored, and the club's got a lot further to travel. But it's not all about backswing, is it? We also need to be able to move well on the way down. So what we're going to do is turn the trail foot out, turn the lead foot out. Now I do appreciate, in theory, turning that out could restrict the backswing because we can't externally rotate, but that's why we're going to let that heel come up. Then we're going to get that heel down and let that trail heel come up. Because if I keep my feet flat on the floor, that's as far out of the way as I get. Whereas when I let that come up, look how much further my body can open up. So I know a lot of guys watch the best players in the world, like your Dustin Johnsons, and we see the top players miles out of the way with their body. And we marvel at what great athletes they are, how flexible they are. The thing is, they are flexible, but if you're not keeping things restricted, so let that trail heel come up, you can see your body will open up a lot more than usual. So it's definitely going to feel, I would say, a little less controlled to begin with. But if you are somebody who hits the ball nice and straight, but nowhere, I would ultimately say you have lots and lots of control at the moment. You actually don't need more control, you need some speed. So we're going to try that. Turn those feet out. We're going to let the hip turn as far back as we can, let the heel come up, and then we're going to plant the heel down, start the downswing, let that trail heel come off the floor, and do a couple of nice big fast swings. And if you're somebody who hasn't been swinging at this speed before, certainly lately, that's going to feel hugely different. And you will miss hit a few to begin with. I don't like golfers talking about quick means lack of control. The lack of control thing is lack of practice swinging at that speed. So stand up there, let things move a bit more freely. Let's not restrict the body at all. And it does feel very, very free. Nearly 91 mile an hour for me there, still 4 inches ahead. And nearly 200 yards carry. Now, I'm not quite senior golfer age. Comment below on how old you think I am and how close I am. And maybe nowadays we shouldn't call it senior golf, should we? Because on tour, it's now Champions Tour. Prefer the sound of that as well. Not sure I qualify as champion, but comment below on my age. Be generous. Anyone who really calls me out, you might get mentioned on my next video. So we're going to get there, turn those feet out, big hip turn, let the heel come off the floor, plant that down, let that heel come off again, and it does feel very, very free, big swing and very fast. So from there, I might have to put a bit of this into my game. 92.2, now this is quick for me with 7-iron. 3 inches ahead, 197. So 2 more. Am I going to get to 200 yards? I'll be honest, 92.2 is probably the quickest I've been with 7-iron for a long time. So let's get nice and free, lots of rotation. Does feel good. 93.2. 3.1 inches ahead. 195. So I'm getting quicker, not quite seeing the extra pickup in distance. And I'll be honest, if you're down at the range working through this, you might say, this is really getting me feeling fast. You might tire a little bit quicker as well. So probably don't hit 500 balls doing this if you're not used to it. But like I said, we need to get away from everything being very controlled. Like I see a lot of golfers, nice and accurate. Would take that. This is all relative for clubhead speed, but 141 carry. Now, am I happy to give up 50 yards with a 7-iron? Not a chance. So let's get those feet out. Let's let our body work as freely as possible. One last one. Let's see if I can get to 200 yards. Felt solid. Not my quickest one, but still quick at 92.6. Still nice and accurate, so I'm not giving up any. And a little bit disappointing at 190. But you can see, if you are a slightly older golfer, or if you are a golfer who feels that they don't move as well as they would normally like or think they should, by getting those toes in front and limiting how you can move, you're going to rob yourself of speed. If you rob yourself of speed, you are going to rob yourself of distance. So let's open things up, get you moving more freely, and really start hitting the ball, first of all, how you think you should, and maybe even a little bit further than when you were in your prime. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it. Comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. There's another video just there that I think could help you with your game. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.